What is good, YouTube family? It's JP Buffett here, back with another video. And today I want to be talking about 4 co-branded credit cards that you should consider in 2023. If you're interested in that video, stay tuned. Like always, guys, if you like this video, show the like button some love. Don't hit it, just click it. And if you're new here, you don't mind seeing this face every now and then, click that subscribe button too. And with that, back to the video. Now, for reference, guys, co-branded cards are considered cards that are not part of a transferable currency. So you can think of Amex and MR points in terms of membership rewards points, or you can think of Chase and UR points for ultimate rewards points. Co-branded cards have the co-branded currency, or the brand's currency. So you can think of Delta and Sky Miles, or you think of Hilton and Honors points. With that background out of the way, let's get into the cards. First up, guys, the Alaska Airlines card from Bank of America. Now, with Bank of America, I kind of have a soft spot because it was actually my first bank. So with this card, it's actually intrigued me to see that they had to refresh their Alaska Airlines card. At the time of recording, this card has a $70K bonus for $3,000 in spend across 3 months. On top of that, the card comes with a companion certificate, which can be crazy value after you take into account the $122 for taxes and fees. This companion certificate allows you to fly with a buddy all throughout the United States. It can be a round trip or a one-way if that is something you want to do. I'm not sure why you would do a one-way, but if you want to do a one-way, that's possible too. The interesting thing about this card for me is the multipliers. It comes with 2x. Yes, it comes with 2x on gas, cable, streaming, and local transit. And while that might not sound like a lot, you got to think about it. Alaska Airlines does not have is not a transfer partner of most of the major brands or players you think about. So you think of the Amex, Chase, Citi, or Capital One. They are not a transfer partner. So getting these Alaska Airlines points is very valuable. So having a multiplier on things like gas can be really useful if you're trying to gain those Alaska Airlines points. You also get a $100 discount on the Alaska Lounge, which on the annual subscription for the Alaska Lounge, excuse me, and that is costing $599. I would rate this at a 0 because unless you fly Alaska frequently and want to stay in the Alaska Lounge, I really don't see $100 off really being that enticing. Finally, being a Bank of America card, you get the relationship bonus. So basically, you get a 10% bonus on this card for having a relationship with Bank of America. This basically just means that you have a checking or a savings account with the bank. So I gotta talk about the flip side of this card. There are 2 flip sides, or 2 downsides, I would say, with this card. The first downside is the annual fee increase. It is going from a $75 annual fee to a $95 annual fee. Now, you can say this is compensated by the multipliers of 2x because, like I said before, there's no other way of really getting Alaska Airlines mileage, but this is a an increase that they're going to take into account. The other thing is that the companion pass, which was originally a part of the card, just basically paying your annual fee, that's actually going to be behind a paywall. And by that, I basically mean you have to pay $6,000 a year for you to achieve that companion pass, which might be a deal breaker for a lot. But like I said earlier, if you use this card for the 2x on gas and you use it regularly for gas, I mean, you can hit $6,000 a year in gas and get that companion certificate. So it might be worth it. Also getting, 12K in Alaska miles, it might be worth it to you. Now, if you do not like this card after a while, you can actually downgrade it to a cash rewards or a travel rewards card, which are the streamlined, not co-branded cards from Bank of America. So there are downgrade paths if after a year you don't see yourself using this card very often. Also forgot to mention that on top of that $70K bonus, you are getting a companion pass. So for that first year, that is a huge bonus to have that. Next card up, guys, is the Delta Sky Miles Platinum card from Amex. I like to consider myself an Amex fanboy, which I can talk about in another video if people are interested in learning how I became an Amex fanboy. But yeah, that next card up is the Delta Sky Miles Platinum, a card you should consider in 2023. So right now, the card has a $90K Sky Miles bonus for $3,000 in 3 months spend, which is pretty standard for most cards. Though we have to keep in mind for this card, unlike the Alaska card we talked about earlier, has an annual fee of $250, which is not waived within the first year. This card also comes with its own companion pass that is granted every anniversary year. So if you don't get it as soon as you get the card, you get this pass every year. So basically from year 2 on. This card is not as powerful as the Alaska one, as it only goes into continual United States. So you can think between Canada and Mexico and not on the oceans, that is where you can use the card unless you are originating from Alaska, Hawaii, or Puerto Rico, and you are returning to those places. This card has to be used within basically the continual 48 states of the US, which is a downside for me. Now, I made a video about this card about a week or two ago, and like I said before, the multipliers are not really much to write home about. You get 3x on Delta purchases and 2x on restaurants and groceries, 1x on everything else. Yeah, pretty much it. But wait, Joe, didn't you just say that Alaska gets 2x on these certain categories? Why would the Delta card not be better than the Amex? Well, I'm glad you asked me that question. Like I said before, the Alaska Airlines card does not have transfer partners with Amex or Chase, Citi, or Capital One. Delta, on the other hand, does have a transfer agreement with American Express. So therefore, you're able to get other cards like, let's say, the Amex Gold or the Amex Green, and transfer those points over to Delta, because those cards have better multipliers than the Delta multipliers, and they are not as stringent as they are MR points and not Sky Miles. So yeah, though it has a better multiplier in terms of numbers, is not better than the Alaska Airlines card at this moment. You're also getting 15% back in returns of reward flights. I talked about this in another video. I will link it in the description and somewhere around here that YouTube decides to put it. But yeah, so you get 15% back when you book with points. So that basically means if the reward redemption costs 10K, you get 1,500 points back, which brings you down to 8,500. And basically like that, 15% off whatever the reward booking is. Overall, I think this is a pretty sweet card with a pretty sweet sign-up bonus. And on top of that, the companion pass can be a very good strategic wild card. When you think about it, people can say, you can do round-trip flights, but you might be able to use that for a positioning flight. For example, let's say you're trying to get to somewhere in Asia, but you're in New York. You can do a positioning flight from you and player 2 can do a positioning flight from New York to Los Angeles, for example, or San Francisco, and then you can book points from there on out. So that way you can save money on the positioning flight and be able to, make those points go a little bit further, because now you don't have to go from New York to Asia. You can go from Los Angeles or from San Francisco to Asia. So think about how to use that strategically in terms of positioning flights to go internationally. Is a great way, in my opinion, to use the companion pass. Alright guys, we are moving on from the airline cards we were talking about now onto the hotel cards, and we're going to start with the Hilton Surpass card from American Express. Like I said, I'm a fanboy. The Hilton Honor Surpass cards come with a 150,000 point sign-up bonus after spending $3,000 in not 3, not 4, not even 5, but 6 months to meet that spending requirement. So it's very, I would say, very attainable to reach that. Also up front, guys, the Hilton card has an annual fee of $95, so that might turn a couple people away, but I personally think it is well worth it, which I'll talk about in a second. So I said 150,000 points, but what does that really mean in dollar terms? Well, the value of a Hilton Honors point is between 0.4 and 0.66 cents per point. So, that is on the lower end, but if you really looking for, to get outsized value, you can find a sweet spot if you look for it. But, with that being said, though, do not get bogged up into, finding outsized value. I think, yes, cents per point is a great metric to figure out what the value of your points are, but it's not the only metric for value. And I think as a community, we should really look into, what is the personal value? What are the other types of value that I can get besides a cent per point valuation? So yeah, it's just something to think about. Yes, it has a low cent per point valuation, but what might be the personal value or other metrics you might get from spending those points however you want to spend them? Your mileage may vary, as always. So finishing up, because I've been talking about this card a lot, this card comes with multipliers of 12x on Hilton properties, 6x on restaurants, gas, and groceries, and 3x on everything else. And on top of that, it comes with gold status. If you want to get Hilton Diamond status, all you gotta do is use this card and spend $40,000. Yeah, spend $40,000 on this card. Do not do that. Pro tip: if you want Diamond status, apply for the Hilton Aspire card. Yes, it has a $450 annual fee, but it has the credits, like everybody says, that will, remove the annual fee and have Hilton basically paying you some money for it. And on top of that, when you take into account, how much this card costs versus how much you have to pay to get diamond status for spending money on the card, it's like 89% cheaper just to get the Hilton Aspire card. And on top of that, you get a free night without having to spend $15K. So if you want the diamond status, get the Aspire card, and don't get this card, or get both of them. Who knows? Finally, you get 10 priority pass select lounge passes. So basically, that's why I think the card pays for itself, because getting access to those lounges can be pretty pricey. So having 10 of those passes, in my mind, would basically pay for the $95 annual fee by itself. So last up, guys, I'm going to talk about the Holiday. No, not the Holiday Inn. I'm talking about the IHD Premier Rewards card from Chase. So I did a whole entire video about this card, and it's a sign-up bonus, basically 175,000 points for 3K in spend in 3 months. You can go check out the video. I'll leave the link in the description if you want to see more about that. But yeah, it's a good pickup, very valuable card. Very nice. It can be used in a lot of different areas. But I will say one thing about this card though. I did not know what IHD stood for, and I actually learned that it stands for Intercontinental Hotels Group. So if you didn't know what that meant before, now you know. Now you know what IHG stands for. But yeah, guys, this card is great to pick up in 2023. I think it's, very, I wouldn't say it's underrated, but I don't really hear this card talked about a lot when you compare it to the Marriott's, the Hilton cards, and the Hyatt card. But yeah, I would definitely look into getting the IHG Premier Rewards card in 2023. So yeah, that's it, guys. I know this is a little bit of a longer one, but tell me what you think about my list. Do you like my list? Do you think something can be added on there? Something can be removed? Let me know in the comments down below. And like always, guys, if you like this video, show the like button some love. Don't hit it, just click it. If you want to hear more from me, subscribe to my channel. If this was helpful or entertaining in any way, consider sharing it with a friend. And until next time, guys, peace.